If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what do loyalty programs have to do with your sales process and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Bell. I'm coming to you live from Kona, Hawaii on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you for HVAC technicians sales secrets. So let's dig into this. Loyalty programs. Like everybody's got them. Like you could go into pretty much any industry, any service, but there's a translation here that I want you to understand that's super importante, right? Super important that you really need to go. So I'm going to tell you a story. So for me, because I have family on Oahu, I make a trip out there between 5 and 6 times a year. It literally costs me an airplane ticket. So just about every single year I hit gold level status on Hawaiian Airlines, which there's a couple things that I get. There's a couple of perks that I get. Okay, so let's just run through the perks. One, I get to get on the airplane early. So this is the levels. It goes first class, Pualani Gold, Pualani Platinum, Pualani Gold, and then Zone 3, 4, and 5. And the thing is like when you come back from Hawaii and you're going to the mainland, if you're in Zone 5, you're probably not going to have room for your baggage because everyone's got ukuleles and who knows, all sorts of stuff that they bring back, right? Because people go to Hawaii, it's like their trip, like, hey, want to bring some stuff back. So the second thing is I get upgraded on my seats. I go from standard class to business class. Now, for every one of those flights, depending upon where that seat is on the airplane, that could be $80 to $250. I like to sit next to a window. I got broad shoulders. I like to punch out so I can lean, and I'm not leaning into the person next to me. So I love an alpha seat or a Juliet seat. So on either side of the plane, A or J, right? A is on the port side, J is on the starboard side. So with that, I also get access to the lounge. And so every hub, every airport here in Hawaii has a Hawaiian Air lounge that you can go to. And like there's like free coffee and free drinks, and you can plug in your computer. And you're not sitting out in the terminal with everybody else. Like today, it was completely booked in Maui before I came over here to Kona. And you're like, hey Scott, like, why are you telling us this? Okay, so I want to give you a concept of status. I want to talk to you about status. I want to talk to you about bragging rights. I want to talk to you about things that you could do for your client or for your buyer that's going to allow for them to really say cool things about you. Really go down the path of like, hey, awesome company, awesome service, and ... I get XYZ, and ... I get 1, 2, 3. Right? So people are like, hey Scott, why do you fly Hawaiian? Well, it's direct from Sacramento, Oakland, San Jose, and San Francisco. Like there's 4 airports within 100 miles of my house. If I really got to jump on an airplane, I'm probably good, right? And so I look at tickets. I know when they're super cheap. I got a car over on Oahu, stay with the family. So what it would cost for you to do one trip, which was between $3,000 and $5,000, that's what it costs for me to do 8, 9, or 10 trips, right? Because I'm not paying anywhere to stay. I got family. And this is why you should join my email list. So I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Right above my head, there's a URL. Type it into a browser, drop in your name, your best email address. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, right? Which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training, really cool stuff. And at some point, I'll sell things to pay for my bad habits of coming out here to Hawaii. So you're like, all right, Scott, what's the point? Well, let me break things down for you. So right now, as it sits, it's towards the end of the year, and I have gold status. I hit gold status, and between the amount of trips I'm going to take, I needed 2 more round trips. So WWSD, what would Scott do? I found super cheap tickets, flying out on a Saturday, coming home the very next day, Sunday, back-to-back weekends. And so I think all in, I'm about $650 by the time you consider rental cars, because I had status at a hotel. And because I had status at a hotel, I got 2 free rooms, right? 1 this week, 1 next week. So my challenge for you is to think of ways to create status loyalty programs for your buyers, for your clients. And in the heating and air world and in the home services world, they have club memberships, they have maintenance programs that do something like this. And this is why it's super important to figure out what you could do for a loyalty program for the people that purchase from you, that make them feel special. Like, you know, this morning I'm in Oakland at the airport, and first class got on board. I'm right behind them. I don't have to wait for everybody to get on the plane. I'm in my seat. I'm in an alpha seat this morning. I didn't have to wait for anybody, right? I get to Maui, and I'm at the airport, and first class gets on the airplane. Boom, I'm next. So you're like, hey Scott, why would you do back-to-back flights weekend over weekend to do this? Well, here's the thing: to go from gold, which where I'm at right now, to a platinum puts me in zone one. I 30 seconds earlier, I get to walk on the airplane. This is how irrational this is. This is how crazy this is, right? But here's the other thing. I do get some first class upgrades. So you never know who you're going to sit next to in a first class seat, right? You could be a business owner, or it could be an entrepreneur, or it could be somebody who sells businesses, right? That's the contact. It's the context. Sitting in a first class seat, like there's automatic assumptions, like you're supposed to be there. So it allows for an easier conversation, right? So status for me, like think about it. I meet a business owner over in Hawaii, and they're like, hey Scott, you want to come over and do some consulting? You want to come over and do some coaching or training? Like, absolutely. You have a job, you have a role and responsibility to figure out what you can, to figure out how your product delivers status, front of the line service, discount, unique experience. There's a book by Steve Sims called Blue Fishing, and Steve ran a program that would do really cool things for people, and I would highly recommend that you pick up Blue Fishing from Steve Sims to figure out how to do front of the line service, possible discounts, or unique experiences. Those are like the 3 keys. That's how you do it. You got one of 3 things to do from here. Just one of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. And if this is social media, share it to a friend. Tag him and say, you should check out this Scott Sylvan Bell dude. He says has all these cool stories about where he goes and what he does. Today, I just happen to be coming to you from Kona. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha and mahalo.